This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Hello, America, and welcome to the #1 radio station in all of Fort Myers Beach. Beach Talk Radio. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Rapp.
And a good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Island Pancake House. You can feel free to cheer if you want to. I know you can't hear. I didn't set a speaker up inside today because I didn't want to. I know there's no speaker. I didn't want to bother everybody's breakfast, so thank you all for coming. And of course, Kim's not here because she has a day job. But Ben Duval is here from Tuna Skin. We have Mike and Dawn Miller that'll join us at 9:30 to talk about the whale and Sandy Bottom, and also Brian or Stacy will join us to talk about the Island Pancake House. So Ben, how are you, man?
I'm well. I'm actually enjoying the reprieve from the Florida cold.
Yeah, it was a little bit chilly out there.
Everybody says it was freezing out. It's Florida freezing,
Right.
not just just Florida freezing.
You know, it's Florida freezing when you leave your neighborhood and they have the flowers covered. That's when you know it's cold in Florida.
Yeah, very true. I knew it was cold when I had to put pants on.
I think we turned the heat on at our house for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you think, what is that smell? What is that funny smell? And you think the house is on fire.
Because it's been an entire year since you've had to put it on. Most people, if they're trying to save, they just put a sweater on.
Yeah. And so the first thing two things I wanted to mention before we talk about the event. The first thing is that I actually was just texting back and forth with Diane from the Guardians of Florida Rescue. We are going to do a volunteer day a week from today from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock at the Florida Guardians location, which is just off Daniels. We'll set an online sign-up sheet up for that, and it's going to be a dog washing day. So if you want to help out washing the dogs, we're going to have volunteers that go to that location a week from today from 12 to 3. And the other thing I wanted to mention was we have Karen Woodson coming on the show Sunday. Of course, we have our Saturday show at Margaritaville. But we have Karen Woodson, Town Council member Karen Woodson, coming on Sunday. And I just want to let everybody know that Sunday's conversation with Karen is going to be a civil conversation. There's not going to be any shenanigans with people getting out of line. There's not going to be any yelling and screaming in the audience. We have it set up where it's going to be a civil conversation with Karen. She's agreed to come on to answer questions. She's going to answer questions, but nobody's going to go out there and be crazy or threatening in any way. Not only are we going to watch what's going on in the audience because we're expecting a big audience, but we will have somebody monitoring our Facebook page. And if the comments get out of hand, we're just going to block you. And that's just the end of it because we want it to be a civil conversation. It's fine to disagree with people on things, but you're not going to be an ass. I'm sorry. You're just not going to be allowed to be an ass on Sunday. So we look forward to a big crowd. So
Beautiful.
all right. How is Tuna Skin doing?
We are doing well. I want to actually jump on the back of what you were saying about volunteering for the animal rescue and everything. I mean, I think that is awesome. I think everyone needs to be aware. There's a large percentage of people that leave from the volunteer with extra pets. Every time I've ever gone just to volunteer or to check it out, you leave with an extra friend. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but keep out for that.
We did a pet adoption day last Saturday at the Tiki Pub just off the beach with the Florida Gardens. I keep saying Guardians. And they adopted 3, but man, to see those dogs around, it's brutal. It's brutal
tough. It's tough because you start going, all right,
I can eat
ramen noodles for a month to have a couple more dogs. Yeah, I'll do that.
So that's going to be next Friday. And tell us how Tuna Skin's doing.
We're doing well. We are like everybody else, we're back on the beach and trying to kick it through the cold weather. Everyone in Florida kind of throws on their parka and their hoodies and their skull caps in the cold weather, and everyone from up north goes, "This is beautiful. It's not so humid." Mm-hmm. So we're out there doing stuff. We've got our events coming up this year, so we're planning a lot of outings, both locally and out in the community and out in the state of Florida.
And the main reason why you're here is to tell us about your 10th annual beach cleanup. So
10th annual beach cleanup on the 16th of this month. We have our 10th annual beach cleanup. And if you guys have been to our beach cleanups before, they have through 10 years grown and grown and grown to the point where we have to cap it. We can only allow so many people because there's only so many people we can get in the area and into the store. We started off in front of our store. Mm-hmm. We provide all of the cleanup materials, the bags, the gloves, the pickers. We partner with Keep Lee County Beautiful, which is a great organization. They bring their people and their volunteers out. They provide water. We provide water. And the goal is to, kind of develop some community awareness of cleaning up the beach and B, just to have a good time. We get out there and we clean up, and it's not just in front of the store or in front of Tuna Skin on the beach. A lot of people come up to us in the beginning and they go, where do we clean? It's called a beach cleanup, but really it's a community cleanup. If there's somewhere on the island in any of the parks around in the area, if you see that there's a need, mm-hmm. we're not saying don't go there. Mm-hmm. Go over there, clean that stuff up, whether it's a community park, whether it's a street, walk the streets. And if there's stuff that needs to be cleaned up, let's do our part and clean it up. And following the beach cleanup, we do have, we've got live music, we've got food, we've got raffle prizes donated from some of our local restaurants and local businesses. So there's always an incentive to come out. If it's not for the good time, it's for the food and everything. Mm-hmm. And you get a shirt with your participation. You get a Tuna Skin commemorative 10th anniversary.
And that's
shirt.
Made out of, did you lose weight? Have you lost weight?
I have. Thank you.
You look a little thin to me now. How much weight did you lose?
About 15 pounds over the last year and a half.
How did you do it?
Well, I started not eating like a college student and working out every day and just kind of, caring about you start getting a little older. You start thinking about the future and how long you're going to be here.
How old are you, Ben?
I'm old enough.
Oh, really? Come on.
And I'm young enough.
You're not old for crying out loud.
I'm in my 40s.
All right. So where you started working out like every day?
Yeah, every day.
Where do you go to work out?
At Planet Fitness.
Very nice.
It's cheap. It's
so
easy.
What were you eating beforehand to cause you to plump up a little?
I was just not eating. I was eating in the evening. Ice cream is a good thing. I don't really have a sweet tooth until I get hungry, and then I will devour some ice cream.
And so what is your daily diet now that you're svelte?
Well, I will still eat. I will still eat like a college student if food is offered to me.
Okay.
But if I'm feeding myself at my place, I try and eat, a smoothie in the morning, a protein smoothie in the morning, a salad for lunch, and then for dinner, just make sure I'm not gorging myself.
I got you. Very good plan there, right there. So how many push-ups are you up to in 1 minute now?
I have not even tried.
I see. Well, when you're working out, you're obviously hitting the weights, or you're just doing cardio?
Trying to hit the weights and just trying to not be in my 40s and overweight and unhealthy.
I got you. All right. So enough about you, Ben. Now, so about
the beach cleanup.
Yeah, the beach cleanup. I don't even think you've given the date out yet.
It is the 16th of February.
All right.
And you can sign up for the beach cleanup on our website. It'll take you to Eventbrite, or you can go to Eventbrite and search for it. You can also go through our social media. We've got links to it there. And sign up. Like I said, we're capping it at about 350. And so we only have a couple, by a couple, I mean about 20, 25 positions available still. So if you're interested,
320 people that have already signed up.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
So
and because these are people that know you do it every year and they want to be involved.
Know we do it every year. We've actually, one of the things that I've found that's really cool, people that are vacationing here during this time of the year, they have worked their vacation around being able to participate in the beach cleanup. Which is really kind of cool. People are coming into town and saying, all right, we're going to be here on this weekend because Tuna Skin's doing their beach cleanup.
Gotcha. And so the registration is how much?
Registration is $25.
And where does the money go toward?
All of the money gets donated to Keep Lee County Beautiful each year.
We love Keep Lee County Beautiful.
Great organization. And we partner with them. They partner with a bunch of other organizations all over the area, and they just do a lot of really good, and most of their staff is, it's great to work with a group of people that are in it because they're passionate about it, because they really care about the environment in their communities.
We do an event with them. We sponsor their Top Golf event, which is a fundraiser at Top Golf,
which is coming up.
Yeah, February 20th. I think it's 6 to 8. And we sponsor that, and that's a fundraiser for them. We love that organization. They're super nice people, and they're on the beach quite a bit helping cleanups.
They are. If they're not on the beach, they're facilitating beach cleanups.
No.
A lot of their staff, I say staff, but a lot of what they work with is volunteers, because they are, they don't get a ton of money, and the money that they do get, they start putting it back into their beach cleanups and making sure that everything stays nice and tidy for not just the tourists, but the locals.
And I know, I don't remember which storm, but I know through one of the storms, they lost all their stuff. So they got donations and stuff to get all their pickers and bags and whatever they needed in their new location.
They make it happen with very little.
That's right. I know Marie was looking to make sure we put the website in the chat box. It's tunaskin.com, right?
Tunaskin.co. .co.
And so you can go on the Tuna Skin website. You can register for one of the final 25 spots if you want to be part of the February 16th cleanup. And what time of the morning does the whole thing kind of kick off? I know when people show up early, you send them out anyway.
We typically start, people start showing up a lot earlier. If we say 9 o'clock, people start showing up at 8:15. If we say 8:30, people start showing up at 5:45. So our team is there and setting up and getting ready for it around 7:30. We're going to have some tents out there. We're going to have Sunny from, we've got some partners that we work with in all of our beach cleanups for Sunbum, the sunscreen. We got the big inflatable Sunny out there.
Oh, I thought you meant Sunny, the radio station.
Oh, no.
Okay,
I wish we did. Sunny, if you're listening.
I don't think anyone is named Sunny that works there, but isn't there a radio station, Sunny, in Fort Myers? Maybe.
If there is, we'd love to partner with you.
It only makes sense for them to be there.
Of course.
So the other thing is, yes, come to the beach early. It's a weekend. You know there's going to be traffic. You can park at Norm's.
So we have parking over at Norm's Beach Parking. They're giving us a discounted parking rate right at Norm's. If you show up, they're discounting their parking up until I believe it's 10:30. So come on in. Get your parking. You can stay there all day. We're going to have entertainment till about 1 o'clock. We're going to have raffles and everything. So it's not just a cleanup. It's going to be an event.
And what I like about Norm's Beach parking lot is that Chris always helps out with events like that. And he's actually a legal parking lot on Fort Myers Beach. He's not an illegal parking lot.
I was wondering when you were going to make that loop around into that discussion. Yeah.
No, but Chris always does stuff. Whenever we had a beach cleanup, he actually let us have one right in his parking lot and take up some of his parking. So he's very committed.
He shows up to it too.
Yeah,
he doesn't just donate to it or donate his time or his facility. He'll show up and help out. And that's another thing. If you did not get a ticket, no one's keeping you from cleaning up the beach.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that we don't want to make it a just one day thing. Come and clean up the beach with all the rest of the people,
By the way, folks, if you're just tuning in, we are at the Island Pancake House in the Seagrape Plaza on Fort Myers Beach, just off of Estero Boulevard, right next to the library, I think, is close by, right? The library's close by.
Right there.
And the library is getting ready to open soon, by the way. I got the QT from somebody here in the audience that they're shooting for around March 1st it's not set in stone, but they're shooting for a March 1st opening, which would be nice to have the library back open. Everything that opens up on the beach just is
always a good thing,
especially
a public library is one of those main community-based things that a lot of people can go and spend their time, and it just kind of helps to round out a community when there's a local library.
Yeah, I think they should expand the size of that library. It's a little too small for this size community. What do you think?
Well, I have been in it a couple times. I do think it's beautiful,
It
but
is.
This community definitely expands itself during season and then kind of gets a little smaller.
Yeah, it's a lovely library. It's probably one of the nicest libraries I've ever been in.
Yeah.
In all of Southwest Florida. So that'll be nice when that opens up.
You go to a lot of libraries?
No, actually, I am a reader, but I'm mostly a Kindle reader. So I go to the Amazon bookstore more than a library. What are the hours at Tuna Skin, by the way?
Tuna Skin's hours, we're open from 9:30 to, I believe it's 8 o'clock here on the island. I believe it's 8 o'clock. It varies depending on season. It used to be 9:30 to 9:30 at night because, we had the bars were open and people were walking the streets. We will at some point get to later hours as the island grows more busy. We've also got our Bonita Springs location over off of Bonita Beach Road, actually closer to exit 116. That's open from 10 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Awesome. And I want to answer Lisa's question, but I don't want people to give themselves a wedgie about what I'm going to say. Yes, we're getting our Gulf of America shirts tomorrow. It's just a funny thing that we're doing. It's not a political thing. Lisa wanted to know when they'll be available. We're picking them up today, so they'll be available tomorrow at our show at Margaritaville, Sunday at our show, if there's any left, at Wahoo Willie's. So if there's any left after that, we will be selling them online, and then we'll order more. So if you're around the beach, Lisa, tomorrow at Margaritaville or Sunday at Wahoo Willie's, whatever we have left. A few people have sent me an email to save them one, and I will ship them their shirt. So we're not trying to get political or anything. I don't want people to think it's anything like that. It's just a fun thing. I thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny. I think what's going to be funnier, Ben, is to watch Matt DeVette when the first storm comes through. Like, what is he going to say? Is he going to say Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, or just the Gulf?
I think people are just going to refer to it as the Gulf because it's a lot safer. I've also heard a lot of local people saying once their GPS on their boat says Gulf of America, they'll consider it Gulf of America. But until then,
are you going to be selling Gulf of America shirts at Tuna Skin by any chance?
That might not be on the docket.
Because you got to stay even, Steven.
I think we'll leave the Gulf of America shirts to you, and I think we'll give you that monopoly on the Gulf of America.
You know what
shirts.
I was thinking today? I need to find a place where we could sell our yellow shirts. I'm not asking you for this, but I was just thinking if there was a place we could have not those shirts, like our regular yellow shirts during the week, we could give somebody an enormous amount of publicity, maybe like Dick's. That fits better for me than Tuna Skin. Dick's is a place where I should be, right?
Repeat that statement, and we'll see.
So February 16th at 7:30 in the morning. Who's the
16th.
musical guests?
If you guys spend a lot of time on the beach, we have Dino Uno. He's going to be playing Dean Winkleman. He's going to be playing as our musical guest starting at 10:30. So come out, do your cleanup. Typically, people have a good 2 hours in them before they get sandy and sweaty and they're ready to come back. And we'll be, serving food. So we got some food donated by some local facilities here.
We're going to be out in the parking lot or over on the other side of your building?
We're going to be in front of the parking lot, in front of Tuna Skin. We're going to have our trailer. If anyone remembers the trailer that was Tuna Skin for 14 months, we're going to have that set up as our stage. We're going to have tables there. We're going to have the musician there. We're going to have our, I'll be emceeing the event. So any of the raffle items that we're going to have, we're going to do it from that stage. So come on out. It'll be a good time. Check us out on the website, on our social media.
Marie, can you give me one of those green cups? I want to tell the green cup. I want to tell a quick story. The green cup that you don't have up on the table. You know what I'm talking about, the Silly Pine cup. So one of the first days, you guys were like one of the first businesses open, and I stopped by the trailer that day, and it must have been one of those days. He's got a hat, he gets a ticket. And I saw you had these cups. They were white. They had tuna skin on them, and I was like, "Damn, those things are cool." And I saw we were texting back and forth, and I got with the company called Silly Pint, and we sold a crap load of these, and they're really cool cups because you can put them in the freezer and the whole thing, and that's where I got them. You can put them in the freezer.
They bounce. You can use them around your pool, on your boat.
Yeah,
they don't shatter, or these don't end up in your foot.
Right.
Is the main reason.
Yeah, and you guys have those for sale over there. I'm sure you have them inside the store now too.
We do. We've got them inside the store. We've got some. We've got koozies, and not just the neoprene koozies that everyone has an entire junk drawer full of. We have the actual ones that are metal and they'll last. The really nice ones. We've got those for sale, and we've got some new products that we've got coming in the next couple weeks, couple months. Some new drink products, so keep an eye out for those as well.
And tell everybody about the shirts, how the shirts are made, because I know we always talk about that every time you come on.
Our shirts at Tuna Skin, we pride ourselves on being environmentally friendly with our beach cleanups and everything. And our shirts, the majority of our shirts, now there are some shirts that are not, but majority of them are made out of 100% recycled plastic. They're quick dry, sun protected, wick away, antimicrobial. If you don't know what antimicrobial means, because you always ask, antimicrobial is that it doesn't basically grow your funk when you sweat and the bacteria that goes there, but they're made out of 100% recycled plastic, and they're actually super comfortable. There's a lot of places you can get the performance shirts just about anywhere, and when you sweat a little, they kind of stick to you like a wet sandwich bag. Ours don't do that. Ours are super comfortable, so check out the store here on Fort Myers Beach.
And I just want you to know I'm not sick. I guess I have allergies. I bought one of those machines yesterday where I guess you sniffle it up or something.
Is it a nasal flush?
A nasal kind of flush thing, because I'm like an 80-year-old man now, Ben. I go to the gym with a handkerchief in my pocket, and I got to face the corner and blow my nose. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm not sick.
Before the gym, it sounds gross and it looks gross, but I do it in the mornings, or you can do it in the
you
shower,
have one of those.
And I have the neti pot that you squeeze, and it goes up and in. Visually, it's disgusting. So I'm going to talk about it more while people are eating breakfast.
They can't hear, luckily.
But it actually helps a lot. And if you're like me, when you wake up in the morning, you're
automatically,
and it's gross. Yes, I'm an 80-year-old man too.
Wow. Oh, I feel so much better. I haven't opened the box yet and read the instructions, so hopefully it's not.
Just wing it.
Yeah,
just wing it.
Stick it up your nose.
I'm sure it's perfectly fine.
All right, one more time around the horn, Ben. Tell everybody about the event.
February 16th here at Tuna Skin. Right here, we're going to have our beach cleanup. Sign up. It's $25. You get the commemorative 10th anniversary. We got live music. We got donated food. It's going to be a good time. Come out, check us out on our website and on our social media to sign up, or find us through Eventbrite.
All right, Ben, thanks for coming on. Big hand for Ben Duval, everybody. Big hand. There we go. Thank you, Ben, very much. Ben from Tuna Skin. All right. And before we get to our next guest, I want to tell you all about one of our sponsors, Parrot Key, ladies and gentlemen. Parrot Key, just on the other side of the bridge. They have 2 big days coming up. On February 19th, it's Ohio Day at Parrot Key from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. These are 2 of their biggest days that they have. Ohio Day, live music, they have giveaways, they have merchandise. February 19th from 10 to 4. And then on February 26th, it's Wisconsin Day. And that's from 10 to 4. Also live music, giveaways, raffles, merchandise. And of course, they have waterfront dining at Salty Sam's Marina. Island time all the time at Parrot Key. You can go on their website and check out their menu right now, myparrotkey.com. That's myparrotkey.com. And we're going to go down there and shoot some video of those 2 events. If you saw some of the pictures on their website, they have massive crowds for Ohio Day and Wisconsin Day. We are broadcasting live from the Island Pancake House, and we want you, if you come down, you have one of our shirts on or one of our hats, any part of our merchandise, we give you a ticket. And if your ticket is pulled out after the show, we're buying your breakfast for you. So come on down and perhaps win a free breakfast. And also, Jorge Barrera is one of our sponsors. Unlock the door to your dream home with Realtor Jorge Barrera, where knowledge, experience, and integrity come together to elevate your real estate journey. Jorge is dedicated to providing personalized guidance, ensuring you make informed decisions every step of the way. Give Jorge a call if you want to buy or sell your property. It doesn't matter where you live. You can live on Fort Myers Beach. You can live in Fort Myers, Cape Coral. He will take care of you. He's trustworthy. Remember, trust is important. We wouldn't be reading ads for people if we didn't trust them, so you could trust them. 239-791-9893. 239-791-9893. All right, everybody, our next guests are the owners of The Whale and Sandy Bottom, and we're going to get a complete update on the 2 locations. Marie, 2 more people. All right, Dawn and Mike Miller. You're going to just grab whatever microphones, 2 and 3, and that's 4. Okay, Mike can't follow directions, but
Oh, no, he can't. Did you know he was just behind you, right?
He was behind me?
Yeah, he
I
just-
didn't see
yeah, he
that.
bombed
Oh,
you.
is that why she was taking a picture?
Yes, that is exactly why.
I didn't see that. So
Yeah.
how are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're
far, so
really
good.
good. Yeah.
First of all, how is the house doing? You guys were in the middle of the storm, so how is the rebuild of the house? Everything good and solid? There's plenty of videos for people to go back and watch you trying to save little parts of your house or your boat or things
and
like
the boat
that.
cover and
Yeah.
everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the boat cover's gone. We're not putting it back. And but yeah, we're about 99.9% done on the house. We've got it repainted, fixed all the stucco. Still working with the insurance companies. We're suing the insurance companies for
Yeah, but
everything
no,
else.
you're talking about Ian though. The
Well, through
insurance
Ian, not
companies.
through
We
the
had no
Microsofts.
insurance for Helene and Milton.
Oh,
We
boy.
opted out of that
Yeah.
because they didn't help us really anyway.
I'm so shocked to hear somebody suing an insurance company. It's
Yeah.
such new news to
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
somebody's
I know,
doing that.
Right? Yeah.
So let's start with Sandy Bottom. Where are we at with Sandy Bottom?
Well, you know what? You go ahead.
Well, Sandy Bottoms right now. Hopefully, in the next 30 days, we'll be starting the construction of our tiki hut. So we're looking forward to that. And we've got our MEPs are all done. We're going to be submitting them for the plans to get those permitted.
Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't expect that people wanted to actually hear me. So I didn't bring the speaker. But if you want, we can bring the speaker in so people can hear. So Marie, I'm going to need you to grab the speaker, which is out in the back seat, and then we can hook it up. It'll take 2 minutes. I've got everything here. But
That's a good idea.
yeah. So in the meantime, what do you want to talk about before we do that? Because I don't want them to miss out on Sandy Bottom and
Well, let's talk about you.
No, let's talk about how
Yeah.
we'll save Sandy Bottom and the Whale till we get the speaker set up. But how do you guys think the rebuild of the island is going?
I feel it could be a little bit faster. One of the things I'd like to see, and Ed, you and I briefed on it just recently, is that I know all these big construction projects are coming on and everything else, and a lot of these big projects they're building all these great condos and everything else. But I feel personally that obviously the condos are going to be important for this island to get people back, but we really need hotels and more hotels on this island. And by having more hotels, you're going to get the weekly travelers and the people coming in instead of having to just rent an Airbnb or maybe a condo if it's even available.
Just put it right on the table there, right on top of the table, and then I'll tell you guys how to hook it up. And so keep going, Mike. Keep going.
Well, that's about it. I maybe the town ought to take a look at, doing a balance of hotels versus condos to be able to keep a balance of that. Because before, we had the Outrigger, we had the Wyndham, and those were 250 rooms right there, if not more, maybe 300 rooms of just hotels, not including a few more that are out there. And I just think that if we can get more hotels on the island, we get them more weekly. Now I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, that's going to increase traffic and congestion." I hate to tell you, we already have it.
Yeah, we do.
It's never going away.
I was just gonna add that hotel rooms tend to support the small businesses more than the condos, especially the condos, because they come down and they have their own kitchens and they're capable of doing their own cooking, and they already have everything they need, so they're not shopping. So the small businesses are definitely going to need support. So bringing back those hotel rooms is definitely a big deal to us. So. Well, while he's away, I'll go ahead and mention that I know we've talked about the Station 31, where the firehouse was, that we bought that. And we're thinking about putting a pizza place in there. And I'm trying to name our crane. And so we did some research. A friend of mine and I did some research. And the very first fire chief was Earl Howie. So I think we're going to name our new character. His name's going to be Howie. So Chief Howie. Nod back to that guy. Yeah. All right. So I just named the crane. His name's Howie.
Well,
For
what
the
crane?
Station 31.
Oh, okay. So did you tell? Does everybody here know what Station 31 is? Why don't you explain? They bought the old firehouse. Why don't you explain what you're going to do with that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Station 30, we bought the firehouse a few months ago, and we're getting ready to do some minor renovations on it, from a roof to power and everything else inside the building. We initially purchased it in order to have for offices for the Sandy Bottoms and the Whale, as well as where we can buy bulk and be able to put, since it's got the big 2,700 square foot where they kept the fire trucks and ambulances, we're able to put buy bulk and save money. And if we save money, it saves money to the consumer, and be able to buy, be able to store stuff there and then transport it to Sandy Bottoms and the Whale. Since then, it's also got a commercial kitchen on the upstairs. So we're looking at doing a pizza, sub, and salad carry out and delivery service.
Sweet.
Yeah. E-bike delivery.
E-bike delivery.
No sidewalks yet, Mike.
Not yet.
No sidewalks yet.
All depends on who's around. It's legal till you get caught. It's like speeding in a car.
Every time we're out, we see the mayor, so we don't mess up.
Riding on the sidewalk?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying in general. Whenever we're on the road, we see Dan.
That happened once. We passed. We passed.
No, we did not.
So is there anything off island you want to talk about yet?
No, we're still good.
Gotcha. Okay, so when do you think the Station 31 will be open or might be open? I know there's some work that needs to be done there. So what are you shooting for?
Well, we're expecting the roof to be put on within 2 weeks, and we're just waiting on the permit. Everything's pretty much done. And the only thing they want to see is, what our overall scope of what it's going to be costing us total to do it, to make sure that we're under the 50% rule, which we're way under the 50% rule. Power should be going on. If we get the okay today or first of the week,
wow,
we should have power by mid next week. And then the whole upstairs is absolutely fine, other than a few water leaks. So that entire upstairs is pretty much done. And then from there, we're hoping that might open within a couple of months.
Sweet. So can everybody hear okay now? We good? Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that you want to listen. I know it's to them and not me, but so you were going to tell us about Sandy Bottom. Where are we with Sandy Bottom?
All right. Well, Sandy Bottoms, we've just got all the MEPs for the most part done.
What does that mean? MEP?
Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing plans for the inside, as well as the tiki hut. We're putting a tiki hut out in front of the building that goes almost to the sidewalk, that is basically the same size as the building. And so those applications just went, I believe, yesterday. And so we should be able to hopefully break ground on the tiki hut within 30 days.
And your goal to be open there is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
You think
The
you'll?
problem with soon is soon never comes.
Yes, true.
So I will say he's always. I'm a little bit more of a realist when it comes to this, but we've definitely hit a lot of snags in our permitting process. And Mike and I haven't. The Whale's our first building that we've ever built together, and we certainly never had a restaurant. But going through this process, we've definitely learned what not to do. So that is what's slowing us way down. So.
Yeah. And you've already gotten the approval from the town to put the tiki out there. It's
Right,
not like you need to
yes.
go through that now. Now it's just it's in your hands now to get it built as quick as you can with the contractors and the permitting and things like that, right? And for people that don't know, that tiki is going to be quite big. It's going to be
Very large.
from the building almost to the sidewalk, or pretty much to the sidewalk, and
It'll be just under 4,000 square feet,
under the tiki, not even including the building.
not including the building.
Okay, inside the building is going to be
That's 4,000 square feet.
restaurant.
It'll be the kitchen, bar. We'll have 3 sections, probably about a 45 foot bar that will also, it'll be, if you guys remember the Leaky Tiki, they had the indoor outdoor.
Right.
We're doing about 35 feet of that. Will be indoor outdoor, as well as, hey, my phone's going off.
Oh, is that your phone? I thought they started playing music. They had enough of us.
And
Mike.
so we're doing that. Then the whole front will be, for the most part, garage doors that can go up, all glass. So it'll look pretty nice when it's done.
And you guys are not too far from here, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
within
right down the
walking
street.
distance.
Yeah.
And
Right to the
so,
north.
and that whole area has got some proposals that are coming up. I know
The Neptune.
the Neptune across the street, and forgetting the name of the resort across on this side.
Oh,
That was there before.
Meyer side.
Meyer side.
Oh, Meyer side. Yeah.
And this food truck concept across the street. What do you
Kind of
guys?
diagonal.
What do you guys think about that? You think that's a good idea?
Well, I do feel it. I feel it's a good idea and a bad idea. I'm pretty much neutral on it, and the reason is if it wasn't for Hurricane Ian and the destruction of everything, and let's say that didn't happen, that food truck I think would be an asset to the island. But right now, with all the brick and mortar trying to be built here, and get with the restaurants and pubs and bars, I feel that it's a little too early for that. I think in maybe 4 to 5 years, I think it would be a great asset for the community.
And the folks that are building it have said they don't want it to be permanent. They think it's a need that the community has now, and that eventually, when things are rebuilt, they would kind of.
I kind of have a different opinion.
All right,
Mike and
Dawn.
but yeah, well, we're very different, but
Welcome to my house.
Yeah, exactly. So what I got to say is, I think that before the town goes and approves things like that, they should go talking to all the restaurants that are operating under a food truck situation. And while we never opened with our own restaurant inside of a food truck, we struggled to get the food trucks to come down and actually stay because they weren't making any money.
Mhm.
So that's where I struggle with any sort of approval for that, just because I doubt they'll make money. And I'm almost going to guarantee they'll have trouble finding a food truck that wants to come down there and park.
Yeah, and they're talking about multiple food trucks, not
Right.
just one.
Yeah, they had 5.
Yeah. I often say, I should have this conversation with Dan and other people. Like, I think this is going to be a rough year because, people came back last year and there's not a lot more to do this year than there was last year. But next year, you'll be
Right.
open. The beach bar will be open. The Best Western will be open. The pizza place in Santini will be open. There'll be a lot more to do next
Yeah.
year. Do you
Right.
guys think I'm wrong?
No, I don't disagree at all. One of the things back to the food trucks is, we never even charged the food trucks to be at the Whale.
Mhm.
We always let them come for it, no
Or Sandy
charge,
Bottoms, right?
and Sandy Bottoms, so that they can make as much money as they can, because we didn't want to take money from them. We just wanted to give the community another alternative for a place to eat and hang out.
And keep our bartenders
So
employed.
before we get to the Whale, I always like to ask you guys about this because you live right in the thick of things on the canal over there. Have you heard anything more about London-based plans for Charlie's and your objection, perhaps, to the boat coming through the canal?
He is still pursuing exactly what he asked
Really?
for.
You're
Yeah.
sure about that? You're 100% sure that's his plan?
I'm pretty confident of it.
Yeah.
It's right now we're just letting sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah.
It's been pretty quiet.
We'll see what happens, and when it's time for us to speak up again, then we're going to go ahead and go 100%. And the thing is, I know it's our canal. We're at the end. We're at the bay in the corner of the canal. But between our lot, not our seawall, but our docks to our next door neighbor's docks is 29 feet. And if anyone on this island that has a potential problem with commercial property going down a canal such as narrow as this, we will be 100% behind you, trying to fight and do whatever we can to keep that from happening. Yeah, because it's just not. It's number one, it's not right, and for the people, but that's why they put commercial canals in, like down at the south end, and we've got 3 marinas at the one at the south, mid, and at the north end for commercial traffic. And like I said, it's not just because it's our canal. If someone else was doing it, we'd be an advocate to try and get that to be stopped as well.
Didn't you say every time, if they did get approved, every time that boat came down, you were going to stand out in your backyard naked? Isn't that what you said?
No, we're actually working with a retirement community. It's not going to be pretty, people.
Be pleasant.
Not going to be pretty.
So lastly on that, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, and Kim would elbow me in the neck if she was sitting here, but I mean, are you in favor of the London Bay project as you see it on the beach side? I mean, there's so much going on now with the Seagate approval, and did they set a precedent? Who knows? But there's going to be a big proposal there. Dawn?
I'm not at all a fan. So, yeah.
I'm not a fan. The Seagate proposal and London Bay proposal are 2 totally different things. Am I happy with the 17 stories? Obviously not on Seagate. I personally feel the town could have negotiated some, get it down to 12, but who knows what's correct? Is 12 okay? Is 17? Is 40 stories okay? Who knows? Yeah. But the one thing about the Seagate project that I like, again, I'm not a fan of the 17, is that the high rise is all the way in the back. Okay. Now, bear in mind, you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time. Someone's always going to be upset with something going in. The London Bay project, they want to do 17 stories right in your face on the beach. And I just don't see it. It's like a monstrosity. It's one thing that the Seagates is way in the back where you're driving down Estero Boulevard, enjoying your ride. And then here's a skyscraper.
But the argument might be that they're around other big buildings in that.
Well, they're not really. The next tallest one would be Island Winds, right? No, Sanderack and then Island Winds. Island Winds is 13 floors. Yeah. But the big taller ones are, a good half a mile.
And I think one of the things that they need to discuss and talk about is I think they need to get off the concept of how many stories it is, because you need to go height. Okay. 17 stories on the beach. Okay. Are you doing 7-foot ceilings, 8-foot ceilings like the 80s? Right. Or are they doing 14-foot ceilings on every floor?
No, so I
think what they need to do is come up with a plan on, and I've got this idea, is you start at the downtown area, and let's say we're going to 4 stories or X amount of height. And then you go to the south end to the highest building. And then what you do is you make a triangle. From here it's 4 stories. Here's 17 stories. Or not only stories, but height. Now what you do, you say, wherever your property lies within this, you take this, and here's your height.
And limit. You say, put that change in the comprehensive plan.
Put that in the comprehensive plan. Now you know where your height limit can be. Now figure out how many stories you can put within that. Yeah. And now, let's say you're out on the ocean, or the Gulf of America, I should say.
Thank you. And we're not getting political, everybody.
No, not at all. It's changed. I can't help that. And now when you're out on a boat, or you're on the the Key West Express, you're looking out, and it's this gradual, other than a couple that's already here, you get this gradual view, and it's appealing the whole way up. Yeah. And while you're driving down south on Estero Boulevard, you see a gradual rise. It's not like, okay, we got 17 stories here. We got 2 homes next to it that are, that are 40 feet in the air, then you got another high rise.
So I was having a discussion with somebody on the town council. I don't want to say who it was because the person, I don't know if the person would care or not, but I'm not going to say who it was. And the argument was, well, nobody really ever came up with an alternative to what was being presented to us. Yes, there was an argument that the argument has always been stick to the comp plan, which, I mean, that really isn't an argument. They kind of are sticking to the comp plan because you've got this development order or the CPD that helps you get in the back door. And so that was one argument. The other one was not 17. And so the person kept saying, well, nobody ever said what's good enough. Is 10 high enough or 12 high enough or 14? You never really came to the table with an alternative. And so you got 17.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the town council is in a bind or right now or not? They voted what
They've
they
certainly
voted.
opened up a door.
Yeah.
But that's also why they have CPDs. CPDs
Yeah.
are one off for only one property. And
Right.
and it's not like, if you don't have a CPD and they got that approved, then it is a basis for all development to be able to go that high because it sets precedence.
Yeah. I didn't mean to get into the weeds that much about those things. We're really here to talk about the
I know. I was
whale.
going to say, let's get to the fun stuff.
I'm sorry. When you drive by the whale I was saying this before the show, you drive by every weekend when I come down and the building's getting bigger and it's getting bigger and you see progress and you see the concrete getting higher. It's just freaking amazing. I walked down that street one day after Ian and I could not believe my eyes what I saw. And to see it now, I know some people think it's not happening fast enough, but jeepers creepers, it's only been 2 years and this town was basically wiped off the planet.
I can tell you
September
that
28th.
I think if we go back, I think it was November, we had our first rendering for the whale. So, we came right out of the gate working. We had already hired Fowler to do some major construction work for our property before it was destroyed by Ian. So they were already, they had already been to our building.
Yeah.
So it just started
In your
from
area
scratch.
right there, we know that mini hotel across the street is not
The
coming
Beacon.
back. The Beacon, they're going to make it a parking lot, which will give your customers a clear view of the water, which is nice. At least for now, it's going to be a parking lot.
Right.
And Margaritaville's right there. And, Norm's, Chris has really cleaned up his parking lot. It looks nice.
He's done a great job.
And the other thing is that the people that own that surf club, holy crap, man, what a eyesore that is. Can't somebody, that thing should be red tagged and knocked down by the town to effing morrow. Really, you come over the bridge and that's what you got to look at. Can't you go over there and accidentally knock it down with one of your tractors or something?
No, I don't want to do that.
Can't you buy that?
I'm not a believer in knocking anything down. I'm a reuse type of person.
That thing, you can't reuse that. Come on.
Oh, sure.
That building?
That was the first. Actually, that was the first
That was a Waffle
building.
House.
It was a Waffle House?
It was a Waffle
I didn't
House.
know that.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys,
That was the first
Wow.
building that Fowler Construction's building the whale. That was the first building he built on this island.
Senior,
And-
not junior.
And now, senior. Now, bear in mind, take a look at it. It's still standing, and it took a
kind
direct.
of.
It took a
It's
direct
kind
hit.
of still standing. Did you
It's
look
just
inside?
gutted.
You see all the freaking
Yeah.
wires hanging down. It reminds me of that dilapidated building next to the Pink Shell parking lot up there. That guy
Well, that's
thinks
much worse.
That guy thinks that house is livable. Like it doesn't need to be knocked down. What kind of crack are these people smoking?
Well, I would like to see the surf club come back. The owners of it, I know they're trying to sell it for a big number.
9 million or something, right? It's
I think 7.9.
7.9.
7.9.
Yeah.
And I've heard
To
they've
be
had
exact.
offers and they're not accepting it. But as an owner of the property, I would at least get it back to a position where lease it. Get the windows
What
in,
a
make
fine
it a shell.
location that is.
And it's a great location.
And it's
Not
right
as
on-
good as the whale, but it's a good
no,
location.
and it's right on the water too, right? You could
Yeah.
get up to that place. You could swim up to that place,
Yeah.
if you wanted to. So, okay, the whale. Where we at? We going to be open soon, Mike, or should I ask Dawn?
Well, if it was my choice, we'd open up on the weekends, right up on the deck, but that won't happen. Well, I will tell you that by April, we will have the third floor on and the sidewalls will be on. And then before they put the roof, they'll bring in our stairs, which there's 2 sets of stairs, one on either side. That's for occupancy. But we're on target for late summer. So, and we keep pressuring them. And I know they're probably watching right now and late summer.
Is that August?
Mhm.
Is August late summer?
August, September, we should be open for business.
Man, that's going to be one big ass party when you guys open. Holy
You can
smokes.
bet. Yeah. You
It'll
can
be
bet.
the best
So-
time a lot of people don't remember.
Yes, of course. And you should walk there because they don't need parking right there. I mean, how many spaces you got? 8, right?
We have 18.
18.
Oh, that's more than I remembered. So you can park there. You probably could park across the street. The beacon should be done, right? And
Yeah,
or
hopefully.
you could walk from Linden Hall Park. It's not very far at all. So there were some questions that people posted on our page. Do you remember any of them, Dawn? That
Well, one was about Sandy Bottoms.
Oh.
Yeah, and they wanted an update on that. And honestly, we had thought we'd have our tiki hut by now, but we hit a snag in December where we were told we needed to do a new LDO and a new DO. So that's kind of what set us back.
oh boy.
And so the problem is finding the people that have the time that can do that is, and it's costly too. So we hadn't forecasted that. So that's kind of where we're at. But as soon as we can get that tiki hut built, we're gonna.
So the menu will be, what will the menu be like?
A lot of mid-island or Midwestern comfort food
Right.
with an island flair, as well as traditional island style food.
And the you do videos, like, is it weekly? You're regularly doing updates on your page.
When they're like, now that it's going to start to be, you'll see, there's more to look at, right? So I'll probably start doing it weekly, but I'm holding off, not going this weekend. I'm going to go next weekend. Hopefully I'll have
Because there's not a lot more to read.
Right,
There's nothing really to see.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
There's not a lot to see, but I mean, in the coming weeks, it's going to be so exciting. to
So
see.
explain how the first, second, and third floors will kind of look when people finally get there. What do you see? What's your vision of all 3 floors?
Well, the first floor is going to be a all open concept, and it'll be a bar probably going to hold about 27 to 30 people.
Flacco.
It'll be a Blocko for the High State Buckeyes, and IO. And we are working. My lovely wife right now is working with the alumni for Ohio State to try and become an official Buckeye bar.
Oh, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
We're having tons of LED lighting, high-end sound system, tons of TVs on the first floor. From there, you go up to the second.
Well, wait, Golden Tea and Shuffleboard will be down
Golden
there.
Tea and Shuffleboard will be on there as well, for a little bit of entertainment. And then the second floor will be all enclosed in glass on 3 walls, overlooking the beach and up and down Estero Boulevard. Even the bar, the back of the bar will be solid glass, so you can look right through it. And that'll be all fully air conditioned. Then when you jump up to the third floor, it'll be all open concept again with a large bar, seating perimeter all the way around. And we were going to put a louver system on each side we have a tiki hut in the center with louver systems.
Right.
We've done away with the louver systems, and we're going to have one massive tiki hut above the third floor.
The last time I was on the third floor this is how long ago, is when we did the presentation for Margaritaville, I
It was
think.
before we bought it.
That was on the second floor.
Oh,
There was
the
no
second
third.
floor. And it was like sitting in a wind tunnel. Like
Yeah.
the wind was crazy that
Mhm.
day. And yeah, we were looking over an empty lot, and Tom and John and everybody, it was a huge crowd there where they were so anticipating the opening of Margaritaville. Now it's been open for over a year.
Right.
It's how crazy old we're getting, man. You
Mhm.
got to open your places before I croak. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Jeez, I'm blowing my nose every day. I'm so old. If you missed the beginning part of the show, you'll have no idea what that meant. But I have one of those Yeti machines. Is that what they're called? A Neti machine or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So you guys have you get old someday. You
Yeah.
I don't know
realize
what that
that
is.
No, I know exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else did you want to mention about the whale? Anything?
So the middle floor is where the bands will play. But we're also going to use it for like wedding receptions,
Nice.
holidays. It'll be a nice dining area as well. We're definitely going to have dueling pianos in there.
You
on the
just started
regular.
doing that, didn't you? When you guys opened, you were
No,
launching that or
actually,
something?
I had been talking to Real Deal and trying to figure out a way to fit them inside of the whale, which they were like, it would really be crammed, but you know,
Now it's fine, right?
Yeah, I talk to them probably every 3-4 months just to get an update. They're dying to get back. They're at Diamond Head now, but they,
And that's 2 different piano players that
Right,
they
yeah,
kind of compete songs. I
Right.
saw this once. It was at there's a place at Gulf Coast Town Center. What's the name of that? It's like a it's like a bar. It's kind of like a Caribbean bar that they had, and we went inside. And they
had
have a
dueling?
bar outside next to the sporting goods place, but they had it in there too. And I was like, wow, that's pretty neat.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm sure people
Yeah.
love that too,
Yeah.
right? And so, karaoke, did you say you were going to have karaoke or
Karaoke?
is that how you say it? Yeah. I've never done that.
No, I never said
Yeah,
that.
the old people come to the whale and
Yeah.
karaoke.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
we,
No,
don't
they
want,
don't.
we don't want you saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Mike. Anybody have any questions for Mike or Don about the whale or Sandy Bottom or
Station 31.
or Station 31 or London Bay or their canal or
Well, what I would like to say is
Do it, Dawn. Do
our
it.
chef is back and he is super excited to cook for everybody. And just keep an eye on the Sandy Bottoms page because on occasion, until we can get open, he might cook up some stuff and bring it down there.
Oh,
and,
sweet.
Yeah. So we were hopeful for next weekend, but looks like we're going to have to put that out a little further. But the fire station, the kitchen's in great shape. We went to the shell factory and bought a bunch of their equipment. And we were hopeful to get like some really cool, like sharks or whatever, but they were in pretty bad shape.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, the fire station will come along quick.
So the other thing I want to make sure I mention is that during the Shrimp Festival, you guys are sponsoring the shrimp eating contest.
Correct.
And that's going to be on the Sandy Bottom property.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I know
As
Greg's
of right
kinda
now,
running
yes.
that. Yeah.
If we can, we'd like to get it on the whale property on the first floor deck.
Oh, wow.
But it all depends on what's transpiring at that given
If
time.
it's safe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. And that's March 9th. I think it's the Sunday of the Shrimp Festival.
Yes. Yeah, it's Sunday, yeah.
And that's always a fun time. I was trying to find out who the winner was last year who ate the most shrimp, but apparently he was just a visitor from town and came in and won the contest.
He was, yeah.
Because I wanted to sponsor the winner again, but so
Maybe
that,
he'll come back.
yeah, that's going to be a fun weekend. That's like the busiest week, one of the busiest weekends on the island, starting March 8th and 9th. And so it'd be nice to see all those people down here. They have the 5K that starts at Doc Ford's. They have the parade
Right.
that's
Yep.
I think starts over here, and it's just a great time. All the activities will be on Old San Carlos, up and down there. They have a bunch of vendors set up and live music down there. So that's always a fun time for the Lions Club. And we do have shrimp hats here if anybody wants to buy
Yeah.
one for $30.
There you
That's
go.
You should have been
100%.
wearing them.
I know Brian had his on earlier because he bought one for his daughter. He assigned his daughter a shrimp hat, and she's going to be out there with the shrimp hat on. But are you guys going to be in the parade?
Yes.
Yeah.
What will you be driving?
Not
We don't
sure
know
yet.
yet.
Okay.
It'll be our golf cart or bar carts again. We've got 2 of them now. They did go underwater over at the Napa service station, so we're getting them fixed right now. But all else fails, I've got a Ford F-350 and a 22-foot trailer. So we might be decorating the trailer and
Sweet.
lettering
figure
the
something
side of
out.
the truck.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on. A big hand for Mike and Dawn from the
Thank you.
Whale and Sandy Bottom. Always love to hear the updates. You should follow them on social media. Dawn is always doing update videos and also goofy stuff from her house. So, hey, Marie, let's do the drawing now. So if anyone wants, we're going to do the drawing now for the free breakfast for everybody wearing the yellow shirts today. If you could just take one out. Thank you. This is who we're buying breakfast for. And your ticket number is 737-5562. 5562. Raise your hand if you're still here. If you're not here, we'll pull another one out. 5562. Maybe somebody in the back. All right, we got one more guest. All right, grab her check. I hope it's not a table for 10, because if it is, I'm broke. All right, Brian, come on down, Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian. Can somebody grab Brian by the back of his neck? Brian, yeah. Brian Martins is the owner, a co-owner of the Island Pancake House, and we want to make sure we have him on for, yeah. Come on down, flying Brian. Brian. Oh, Stacy's coming on too. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Stacy and Brian, grab number 3 there, Brian. All right. We appreciate you guys inviting us down. Got a nice little crowd going here. Thank you very much.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you
nice
for
and
bringing
close,
everybody.
Stacey. Yeah. Well, what did I say to her before the show? I said, just worry about one thing. Just make sure the microphone's close. So, Brian, you're obviously the only one open here in the Sea Great Plaza. Have you guys heard of any other businesses coming in?
Yeah, actually, there's a smoke and vape shop that is going to be opening up here at the end of the plaza. They are starting to work on it today. The last couple of weeks they've been working on it. So I'm not sure what their timing is, but they're hoping to get open here by early summer.
I'm sorry, you said smoke and bait shop?
Smoke and vape.
Oh, smoke and vape shop. Oh,
smoke and
wow.
vape shop.
Talk
Yeah.
about a unique
Yeah,
business.
smoke and vape.
Wow. So yes. Yes, in the passenger side floor. Yes, I think I did bring them. Thank you very much. Anybody else that you heard as a possibility? Any old businesses thinking about coming back or anything like that? No.
I don't believe any of the businesses are coming back. And he's had a few people looking, but nobody has signed on. Yeah.
And we're right in front, or we're actually in front of us, or we're in the back of the furniture store, which has really been, the Himmelsteins have really been working hard on getting that the shop open. And they were on the town's list because I think they had like a big Connex box out there that they lost the case on, so they had to remove that, and they're just trying to get open over there.
Yeah, so their permits were revoked, but when they went to the meeting with the town, they presented a comp plan, and I believe they're waiting to hear the word back. They're waiting on a permit because they want to permanently secure them Connex back here. So if the city approves that, then they'll get moved. But then other than that, I think March 1st, start getting fined.
Oh, when you say, I just want to make sure I'm clear. When you say their permit was revoked, not for building the building.
Not for the building,
for
for
the
the boxes.
Okay,
they had a temporary permit for them boxes, and it was good until they completed the rebuild.
But yeah, that got all
then
scrapped.
The city came back and revoked that.
Yeah, they've revoked many temporary use permits. Lowell is a whole different story for another day. But so you guys were working crazy, and there's a man sitting out here who I know worked hard for you too when he was on the county board. He loves the food here. We can't keep him away. Ray Sandelli is here, and I know you guys were all working together to get open as quickly as possible. Now that you look back on it, I mean, it was insane, wasn't it?
It was very insane.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ray Sandelli was a huge part of us getting open. I don't believe we could be probably open right now if it wasn't for him and the city's help. So for all the bashing that the town hall gets, they were incredible to us. They were very incredible to getting us open. So we appreciate everything that they did.
Now, tell everybody whatever you want about the restaurant, the menu, the hours, what you're doing for the community.
So we are open 7 days a week, 7:30 to 2. You come in at 5 to 2. We're going to serve you. One of the things that most people don't know is we do have a full liquor license now since we reopened. So we're not running off of wine-based vodka, but we do have a full liquor license. So you can come in and have a real Bloody Mary and screwdriver.
What is Stacy? Come on now. What is the most? By the way, $5 mimosas and $5 Bloody Marys today for people that come during the show. And I'm sure if the show ended and they came in 5 minutes later, they'd be okay with that because that's just the way you are.
We will honor the Beach Talk Radio $5 mimosa and Bloody Mary all day long.
Yeah, very nice. There's a drinking crowd right in front of us right here. No, so I remember driving by this place, the Plaza, so many times, just thinking, okay, he's going to be open, he's going to be open, he's going to be open. And it was so nice to see when you guys finally did get open, and everybody loves the place. I mean, everybody talks about how great the food is.
Thank you.
And I know you guys thought about coming back, like maybe not, maybe because you don't live on the island. I mean, this is like a drive for you too, just like everybody else. So why did you decide that? You were telling me before the show, Brian, why did you decide this was what you wanted to do?
Well, that's a long story, but a lifetime ago, I was into the restaurant business, and then I got out and I was in basically manufacturing world for the last 27 years. It treated us very well. We had a good life. We lived up in Minnesota, got sick of the winters. Just certainly didn't want to do it anymore. The kids were growing, they became adults, and we decided that instead of waiting 10 years to move down south somewhere, we took a leap of faith and we bought a restaurant on Fort Myers Beach, and everybody said, hey, this is going to be great. 3 months later, Hurricane Ian hits. It did turn our world upside down for a long time. It took 23 months to get back to here.
Good grief.
And there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I'm right here. This woman's a rock, you guys. You do not understand how She probably didn't see a lot of what was going on in the inner workings of getting this place back up. But every morning she got up and she fought, and she told me every morning, I'm telling you, for 23 months, this was the same words that she told me every morning. She goes, I'm going to stay positive, Brian. And she did through that 23 months. And, here we are. And we can't thank the community enough for supporting us, you guys, because we would not be here yet today right now if it wasn't for the community supporting, because you guys all know it's slow going yet. The tourism isn't back to where we hope it would be, but it's slowly coming.
Remember the day, I don't remember which storm it was. I'm guessing Milton. We were all over by Town Hall, and they had a big giant pile of sand, and everybody was filling up sandbags. And then we're over there helping out. And I turn around, and there's Brian helping out with his sandbags and coming back and forth to the Pancake House to bring people water, because that's the kind of community that Fort Myers Beach is. Despite all what's going on now, at the end of the day, if something happens, everybody rallies around each other.
Agree, 100% agree.
There's a place on Old San Carlos next to the Shipwreck that was a restaurant. I can't remember the name of it now. Right next to the what was it called? You guys probably know. What happened was, like, they had put all this time and effort into the restaurant, and then they opened like for 2 weeks or something. I'm not being accurate, but and then what's it called? Yeah, it's something alley. And then the storm hits, and they're gone. There's no way they're coming back, because I'm guessing it was just crazy. They put all that, same thing with you. Yeah. But then you decide, okay, I'm not going. You didn't need to come back. Well, you could have just hung out at your pool.
We ended up rebuilding, opened August 28th, and then here comes Helene. And then 7 days later, whatever it was, Milton. And Helene, we came through unscathed. We lost power for like a day. They had us back up. Milton, we weren't so lucky. We didn't have any water in the building, but we lost electricity. The transformer went out. We were down for 12 days. And
that's crazy. I remember calling you every day. Okay, you got to have power now. You got to have power now.
and we're not wealthy people, so losing revenue for 12 days really impacted us. And the bills keep coming. Yeah, they don't stop. But there was no revenue for 12 days. So.
All right, Stacy, I'm going to put you on the spot. Why did you feel like you everybody sees your smiling face when they come through that front door today? Why did you decide that, let's do this? Because I know how sometimes husbands can be, I'm doing this because I think I can do everything, until somebody reasonable says, maybe you can't do everything. But you decided that this is what you guys should do.
For me, it took a little bit, but it was like, we lost everything. We sold everything at Minnesota. Where are we going to go back to? And this is where we decided to retire, live, and it's an awesome place to live. Yeah. Who doesn't want to wake up every day and see that? So you know what? My mind switched quick, and it's just, you just got to be positive.
Yeah, I think it was the same way with Mike and Dawn. I think they were having that conversation too about, we can't keep going through this, and then you talk the wife into it somehow. I think, or in their case, it might have been the opposite.
So we sat down one night, and we had long conversations about what our future was going to hold. And I think one night we were just sitting down, and we looked at each other, and we just said, Ian was not going to dictate our future. Nice. We were going to. Yeah.
And we got to meet a lot of awesome customers that keep coming back, and it is wonderful.
Yeah, the coolest thing about a place like this is it's not so big. It's the right size where you definitely learn everybody's name when they come through the door. And that's the most important word to everybody, is hearing their name. I think the customer service, 101, knowing people's names makes it feel, you go to the Wahoo Willie's, the bartender knows your name. You want to go back and be where you're known, and that's the way it is in here. And you, even when I walk in, I see people I know, and it's not that means anything, but that it's the community breakfast place. What is the most popular breakfast item here?
I would say the Belly Buster, the Mess,
and as far as omelets, the Western.
Yeah,
we sell a ton of them.
Anything else you want people to know about the Island Pancake House? And we want to make sure we thank you for sponsoring our show and allowing us to come and let it rip. Whatever you guys want to let the community know.
We just appreciate everyone that comes in. that keeps coming in, and hopefully as a community, we're all going to do good. That's what I want.
You don't need to say anything, Brian. She did it perfectly. All right. Big hand again, once again, for the folks at the Pancake House. Thank you guys so much for letting us be here. And before we get out of here, I have a few announcements to make. Tomorrow's show at 11 o'clock, we're back at Margaritaville after taking last Saturday off to go down and do the show with the pets. We did adopt 3 pets last Saturday. We are working on another pet adoption at the Fort Myers Brewery, but we'll tell you about that another time. That means some people would have to leave the beach. We went to the Art Association fundraiser last week, which was at Clive Daniel, and people actually do leave the beach. I was shocked to see there were people that lived on the beach that actually went on the other side of the bridge. They were totally like fish out of water because they don't know how to behave when they're not on the beach, but they were all there and they were supporting the Fort Myers Beach Art Association. We're working on a car show for Sunday, February 16th, across the street from the SOB. We're working with the folks at Jason at Mangaritas to have about 50 to 60 cars in the parking lot on Sunday. I think it's the 16th, right across from SOB. So keep an eye on our Facebook page and our newsletter for that. Of course, the Fort Myers Beach Strong Caftan Crawl is February 8th, which is next weekend, starting at 11 o'clock at Margaritaville. The Community Foundation Fashion Show is February 15th at Anita's Place in Santini Plaza. The Shrimp Festival is March 8th and 9th, and the St. Patrick's Day Parade is back, sponsored by the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club this year, and the King Foundation on March 15th. So there's plenty to do on the beach. So please come down to Fort Myers Beach and bring a pound of 50s with you and spread them around nicely. Thank you all for coming to the Island Pancake House. We'll see you tomorrow at Margaritaville.